What up?
I like it.
Dude, you know what that reminds me of, honestly? Before we even get into the show, that reminds me of the continue screen on GoldenEye.
Oh,
Whatever.
yeah.
With
It does sound like that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, except for it's X-Men. He'd be like, I don't press start. All right, we got to get back in there and try and beat this game because every X-Men game that's ever been created is like the hardest game you've ever played.
Yes.
Except for that arcade beat 'em up. That was easy.
That one's great. Welcome to Die.
Yeah. Anyways, y'all, I am Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you're nerding out with Rickshaw. Today, to me, my beef men.
Me?
Anyways, you're also nerding out with.
What's up, nerds? It's Rabbit.
And it is me, the producer, Toby Von Doom.
Toby was actually like, I think we should call it To Me, My Beef Men. And then Rabbit suggested another thing, and he's like, I've been thinking about that all day.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
Thinking about that all day.
What was your suggestion?
No.
I just said to me, my beefy boys.
Oh,
Beefy
Beefy
Boys.
Boys.
Beefy Boys. Yeah, that's why we were talking about Psycho Gorman.
Okay, gotcha. That's where it came from. I was distracted doing producer stuff.
Oh, Toby, you know what? We appreciate you. You're a sexy man, and you know how to press buttons in a good way.
I'm a beef man.
Pressing all the good buttons.
But yeah, I hit him up the other day, and I was like, man, I gotta check out one of those what are they called? Stream
The
boys?
Stream Decks. The Stream Decks.
Stream Deck.
Yes.
But yeah,
Excuse me?
you know, I've got all the stuff. I told Toby to come and kind of give me a run through on how to run a live show because I have all the stuff to do it. Then I was thinking maybe I should get one of those stream boys. And then,
Streamy boys.
and then you could control, right? You could control like all the camera angles and stuff. Just have them set up on buttons, like one push buttons, right?
Come on, you're gonna tie them to like Pornhub or something and just switch to different videos real quick. Be like, oh, there we go, switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, let's roll that bean footage. And go, like, oh, wrong button.
Ooh, wrong bean.
But we're not talking about beans today. We're talking about beef.
Beef.
We're gonna talk
What for
about
dinner?
some little, we're gonna talk about some
Here.
beef that's been happening.
Where's the beef?
I'll tell you this week where the beef is.
Yeah.
With Frankie from Amir.
Ooh.
And it's between him and Alpha Wolf, right? That was kind of like out of nowhere, right? It's been a long time since we've seen Frankie like start shit with anyone. He's just been laying low.
He
like,
has been laying low for a long time, it seems like. And then, like you said, out of nowhere.
I've even chatted with him just like very lightly. Like last time they were doing a tour, and then this time they were doing a tour. I just kind of said what's up, and he got me in, to the show. I didn't really get to see him at all, but yeah, he's been laying low. I even asked him to do the show at one point in time, like around last year, and he was like, "Nah, man, I don't do any press anymore." And he's like, "But if I ever decide to do an interview, I'll keep you in mind." And I was like, yeah, that's nice of him. Anyways, he's been laying real low. And then I went to the show, saw the bands play. Amir ripped. I like Alpha Wolf a lot. I like one of their records especially. But they were just all right. They were just kind of all right. What do
Yeah.
you think, Rabbit?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like they have some songs that I really like, but overall they're not the type of band I usually listen to.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did a good live show, except for some of the weird stuff that
Yeah.
little boy was talking about on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he's
y'all
like-
said something about that in chat. What was he going on about?
He was like, I don't know. I couldn't really tell.
Dude,
honestly,
it was like no, it was like he kept saying something about like he knows some secrets and people are trying to silence him, and like, but he will not be silenced, that kind of thing. But it's like, what are you talking about, dude? Is this Australia stuff? I don't know. Like you're in Dallas, Texas. We don't know what you're talking.
He's like, I'm here to tell you, Australia's not real. It's true. It's not
He's like-
real.
I know secrets. Like, okay,
he's like,
doesn't seem like anybody's too
I'm here
concerned
to
about
fucking expose these Mad Max movies. They're fucking real, mate.
it. George
Fucking
Miller
real, mate.
is exposing me.
Yeah, don't come here. It's a fucking war zone, mate. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
but
I have no idea what he was talking about.
I don't
but-
really
So
know what
that
he was
tour
talking
was
about.
really dope, though. I mean, with you have Alpha Wolf, Amir, Unity, and Chamber. Like that's a badass lineup.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
didn't miss Chamber, it would have been great.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll miss Chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss Chamber
Oh,
too.
that sucks so
Yeah,
much.
I showed up late because I had to go to my nephew's graduation.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, I honestly, so my nephew's graduation was Thursday and his party was Friday and the show was Friday. So we were there hanging out, kind of like saying what's up to everybody before we had to go to the show. But it started storming. And then it was also like from Savannah to Dallas. So it's like a lot of trafficy areas. It's like 5:30 and we're like, we should go because they start at 7. So I left. Lee even made it home and then met me at the show. But when I got there, it was pretty much like Chambers, like, all right, we're done. I'll see you later. I was like, oh, no. And then Lee showed up like almost like right whenever Unity started. And so like,
Yeah, also
like, man, there's
Unity
no-
played after Chamber. Like,
That seems
Yeah,
weird
I
on the
don't know,
lineup.
like-
But Unity has been getting.
now,
They've been blowing up.
yeah.
I think more so
Yeah.
than Chamber, so it makes sense. But like,
Yeah, but
I like Chamber
they're not
more.
they're not on the tour package though. It
No.
seems like
They are.
They
on-
are on the
they-
tour
yeah, they
package?
were.
Oh, okay.
They are. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're, full
I guess that
blown
makes more sense.
touring band now, or you know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So that's where I mean, that's honestly, it's weird how I love Chamber so much, and I see them play shows, or the one time I have seen them play a show, everyone in the whole place was spin kicking, like literally every person was
If your
spin
grandma
kicking.
was there, she would spin kick.
Yeah, she was at least practicing. 'Cause she was thinking about getting in there, but it was the type of thing where like I was like, man, I like Chamber. I know people freak out that go to Chamber shows, and I've been to one Unity show and it was decent, and then when they released that new record and it had like kind of like this hip hop vibe feel to a lot of the songs, or like kind of like industrial sounds to some of the songs. It's like got
Yeah.
some 9 Inch Nails kind of sounding shit. I was just kind of like, oh, I don't know if this will do well. And then I thought about it and I was like, this will probably do really
Yeah.
well.
It's probably gonna blow up.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's probably blowing up.
But that doesn't mean it's good.
If Fuzz was here, I know he would defend Unity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
shit. But
You
like,
know,
there was a while, like every local show we went to in Dallas is like Unity was opening.
Yeah.
Every local show. So I guess it's their time to tour, and
Move up.
they put in the work. I guess they put in the work. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's fair.
But yeah, I just, I want to see Chamber get up there though. You know what I mean? Because I think that if it was, to me, personal opinion, that was part of the reason I was there. Chamber, Amir, Alpha Wolf. Those are all bands in the same realm. You know what I mean? As much as, Unity was good at what they were doing, it did take the show to a different kind of vibe for a little bit. I guess Frankie does rap though,
The Fred Durst of metalcore. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fred, I've always thought that was fucking kind of awesome that Frankie's just like, Fred Durst is my main influence. So it's like, shit, I didn't even realize that until he said it.
But
you know what I mean?
once you realize it, you're like, makes total sense. Everything,
Yeah,
everything
it
about
does.
it makes total sense.
And the shell toes, he would for the longest time he would do a hat, like a baseball hat, right? Wouldn't Frankie do a
Yeah.
baseball hat for a little bit? And then he would do the windbreaker and he'd do the shell-toed Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, see it.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about some beef that, just overall beef in music, but we are going to start with Frankie because apparently he took okay, so it's kind of cryptic. He took this picture. It's like everyone on the tour except for Alpha Wolf, and then there's the crowd, and then he says this is the tour. So he left Alpha Wolf out, but then didn't the Alpha Wolf dude like retweet it?
Yeah. So
and
he
say-
he retweeted it. I'm trying to get it pulled up.
And so which dude is it? Is it the singer of Alpha Wolf?
I
The
don't
vocalist?
know. John Arnold.
Hmm.
It's I can't really tell if it's here. If it's he wrote shout out to our support bands with the little
Oh,
rock
nice.
on emoji, and
Yeah.
that seems like
That's a dig, but the first
it doesn't
set
feel like a
tour-
dig. Like if you just
They're both digs. They're
Yeah.
both digs.
Yeah.
They really are. They're backhanded,
It's the
passive aggressive digs.
okay.
Both.
You're right. Sure. And
Yeah.
then
They're both equally as cryptic. You know what I mean? Because they're like, I am so nice to you. I am so nice to you also.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching What We Do in the Shadows last night, and Nandor and Laszlo were like beefing.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh, that's a
just
good
that.
one.
They were like- He was like, "Are you going to help me carry in the bags?" He's like, "I wasn't planning on it." And he'd be like, "Thank you." "No, thank you." It was just like that back and forth the whole episode. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
sorry,
But
everything's
so
acting all wonky on my computer all of a sudden.
so the first thing that I saw about that, somebody said that they apparently and this was all hearsay. I don't know.
Well,
shit
first off,
about the truth.
Frankie
Okay.
replied to his repost and said, "Thank you. We had a blast. Outselling you, outplaying you, just overall crushing it. Sorry, half the crowd left last night. Always next time."
It's a little more direct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
A
is
little more
a
direct.
little bit- I mean, it's still honestly isn't that nice voice though.
Yeah, it's in the. Yeah.
It's like genuinely just crushing it.
Had a great time playing with you.
Maybe next time.
So, okay, I want to know what happened. Like, the last show after the one we saw, they like canceled, right?
Well, that's
Why do you
see,
cancel the
okay,
last show of the tour?
Someone canceled. I guess someone said that they canceled that, but I had another person I saw in some comments that were like, "I went to the last show on the tour and they played it, so I
Oh,
don't know what
okay.
everyone's talking about."
Gotcha.
So now that confuses me on what actually happened on the, on
But
the
see,
last
that
day.
makes things even more confusing with this photo, because if Alpha Wolf played last on the last show, then why is it just these three bands on stage?
Yeah.
That's what's really conflicting to me. So I don't know what to believe here, because the evidence shows.
I could only
I don't
I
know.
can only say that probably after Emir's last song, they had all the dudes come up on stage and take a picture,
I
and
mean,
then
that's-
Alpha Wolf played after that.
Yeah, that's what I would think if I don't know. Because if you're about to play, you're like, I don't know if I should get in that. I'm about to play. I got to get my shit set up.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
that,
mean?
it could also be a thing like, "Hey, we want to take a picture. Don't tell these dudes,
Yeah.
but come up on stage. We're
Right.
gonna take a picture."
Yeah.
That's weird.
Who knows? You
Who
know?
knows? Who's to say?
Say. But if anybody knows, please. I wish I
Yeah.
dug up some comments on like what actually happened. Because who knows what the fuck happened?
Right.
But what's some other? Do you remember some other beef?
Well,
that, Frankie.
Yeah, well,
has-
Frankie, the Acacia Strain, had a big falling out, and they even wrote songs about each other, because so
Yeah, that's dope.
they apparently Vincent, vocalist of Acacia Strain, was, I guess, calling Amir out, saying that, "Hey, y'all are ripping off our style. What's going on here?" And I don't know what all happened, but apparently at the end of it, what I read is that they had a brass knuckle fist fight or something crazy like that. But I can't find any pictures. I can't find anything like, that was just one thing that was like, yeah, they had a brass knuckle fist fight. But apparently the Acacia Strain song Skynet is about Frankie, and Amir wrote R2 Deep Throat off the Felony album about. That's the one that says, "Ask your girl what my dick tastes like." That's with that breakdown in it. So
Yeah.
there's that one. I know that one for sure.
So yeah, I know
Classic.
for sure. I remember hearing that they actually fought, but I
See,
doubt
I always heard
doubt
that
they were breaking out brass knuckles. For this
right. I
shit.
heard that they fought.
I mean,
Knuckle fist fight.
I see a good old fashioned street fight, like in the
Donnybrook.
Outsiders,
Good
or
old
something,
Donnybrook.
like a
Like in the
like
parking lot,
like a brawl,
or behind the buses.
Yeah, and they're like Frankie. They're like, hit him, Frankie. Yeah, come on.
Are they all
Yeah,
snapping their
Hit him,
fingers
Vincent.
like
Yeah.
street gang?
The
Street
sharks
sharks?
Yeah.
and the jets.
Yeah.
Some dude's wearing he's wearing like chain around his bicep just as an accessory, but then he has the option to take it off during the middle of the fight.
Well, that's how tough he is. He doesn't need it.
Yeah. But okay. I mean,
I
I
know
like
it-
these beefs way better than the Drake thing, Like whenever like one of the most famous and rich people are involved in anything, I'm just like, who fucking cares, dude? You're like rich as fuck, dude.
What is their beef about?
Economies are built around having your presence around, you know what I mean? Like Toronto is like, can we get Drake in here so people start spending some money and getting this fucking eco going?
But what were they even fighting about? Like, I don't understand. Like, I even tried to look into it, and I was like, am I that old now that I don't understand the hip hop beefs?
Yeah, I had my friend Grayson. He's like 10 years younger than me, and he listens to hip hop. So
Yeah.
he explained it to me. Essentially, there was a song put out that it was like the big three for that generation, which was Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. And then Kendrick put out a song that was like, fuck that, like, it's Big Me. Just like, it's him.
Yeah.
And then that's what set off all the beef, I guess.
Oh, that's super lame. So every rapper that's like, I'm the best, like they claim that they're the best. Shouldn't everyone be beefing with everyone? Because like, no, bitch, I'm the best. Because that's.
Well,
Man,
I mean,
thought it
like
was something cool.
But if you're Drake, though, you don't ever. I mean, I don't know. It's like the type of thing where like Kendrick is like, no, fuck that, I'm the best. And I'm guessing that Drake and and J. Cole were like, yeah, probably, but
I was just hoping.
Well, I think J. Cole like respectfully bowed out.
yeah,
And then that's when like Drake and Kendrick started going back and forth. And then Drake was like, don't make me press the red button. Like I have some shit to say and I'll say it and I'll out you. So apparently he dropped a song. And then like 30 minutes later, Kendrick Lamar dropped a song and like just ripped into him.
Yeah.
So he had this shit on deck ready to go. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I just
You
wish
know,
that the beef.
pretty wild.
I wish it was more over something like, damn, I saw Drake's leaked dick thing. Like, I'm jealous of how big his cock is. I wish it was something
Well,
cooler.
we did get BBL Drizzy out of it. So that's kind of
I don't know.
that song gets stuck in my head like every
Yeah,
day.
I don't know what any of you said a bunch of you said a lot of nonsense. That's all I heard.
It's all over Instagram.
Well, I just think it's weird. Like, we're the type of people that like listen to heavy music, and we are obsessed with certain bands. But I feel like whenever people were started talking about this hip hop thing between Drake and Kendrick, it was like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Like even Grayson, our friend, would be like shaking his head, and I'm like, what? This beef is crazy. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? We're at work.
Well,
Like-
that's just because hip hop now is like mainstream
right.
music,
Yeah.
and the stuff we listen to is not.
Right. I know that though, but the way that we obsess about the music we listen to, we wouldn't care about like bands starting beef. We might bring it up once, but like this is like ongoing. You know what I mean? Like I bet people that like hip hop and people that like mainstream music, every time they see their friend, they're like, dude, let's talk about the update on this beef. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but also the songs that they're writing are going like double and triple platinum, and
yeah,
like they're beef songs.
yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a lot bigger than like
right.
I mean, it's getting talked about on like all the late night
people are
shows.
going to talk about it.
It's
Yeah.
it's huge.
But
like,
from what I gather, there's no actual real reason the beef started. Like usually it's like, hey, you fucked my girlfriend or some shit like that. You know,
right.
like
like a classic beef like Tupac
think any of
and Biggie.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
The Tupac and Biggie, the biggest beef of all time.
Classic.
Classic.
The biggiest beef of all
So classic that they're dead.
They killed him.
Yeah, they just did, you know? So, I don't know. I think sometimes beef is like good, clean fun. I kind of want to like the ones that end up being fake, I think are so sick. You know what I mean? Like imagine just being like talking to your homie and be like, "Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to tell you, if you see a song that comes out and I'm talking about you, it's all a big joke, dude. You know, just don't take it personal." And then beef happens. I think that would be fun. Maybe we should start calling some of our
beef.
friends and be
Just
like,
start-
"So I made this track."
It's
know?
good PR for everyone involved. It really is.
Actually, I've always wanted to just handle like, roommate problems or like problems amongst your own friends with like diss tracks.
pretty good.
I've especially always wanted to make a diss track against Lee because I feel like that would just
I
be
think Lee's whole life is a diss track. I love you, Lee. I love you so
you
much.
know who made the first diss track about
I'm just
Lee?
saying
Jesus Christ.
That dude's been dissed on more than anybody I know,
Damn.
and he's still just having a good time.
He is
living
having a
life.
good time, you know? He's
That's the way to do it.
like in our scene.
Shout out to Lee.
In our scene though, like we said it off mic a minute ago, but like the big beefs were always like Brand New and Taking Back Sunday. What were some of the other big ones? The one that I got super invested in for no good reason was Issues and What Was Me. I don't know why I got so invested into that one.
Yeah.
And
Who?
Yeah.
I really liked the one of the vocalists from What Was Me a lot, and like I just got super like into it, and like they wrote songs about each other. Basically, What Was Me's album is almost every song on it is about fuck you to Issues, and it's kind of funny. Yeah.
What was the beef about? A girl?
I don't
Was it
know.
about a girl?
They just
That's the type of bands that would, beef about a girl.
No. Well, that's the thing. The clean vocalist for Issues, I believe. Because there's a line he says something about it must be hard to talk shit with that dick in your throat. So I think he may have been gay or something, and that was kind of a weird diss to like. I mean, you're trying to dunk on a sexuality. That seems weird. But they do talk about like the other band's doing a bunch of coke and not being able to perform or something. I don't know. It was fun. That's what I'm saying. Like I got super into it, and it never made any sense.
Sometimes though, whenever like people put these things in songs, it's like you ever try to compare it to like a real scenario where like there's like maybe a terrorist and the terrorist is like going to kill you or something, and you're just like, fucking taste what the fuck dick tastes like. Take the dick out your throat. And the dude's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking kill this.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna kill you.
Yeah. Like, huh? Okay.
And you're murdered.
Okay. But still, it's just like, let's
Yeah.
just make songs, guys. Don't. And if you're
Just
gonna
good,
do a
clean
diss
fun
track,
for everyone.
you know what though? I can't complain though, because if I made a diss track on Lee, I would be talking about all the dicks in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
That's
I'm thinking
fair,
about it
yeah.
in the wrong way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Maybe it is pretty good. It's a good angle. It's a good angle.
Yeah, it is a good.
I think the greatest beef of all time is Eminem and MGK.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was super funny.
Uh,
I mean, Eminem's had a bunch with Fred Durst
That
and,
shit was
and DJ
fun.
Lethal and everyone.
Well, yeah, but I don't even think Limp Bizkit even acknowledged that shit, dude. Did they
Yeah,
even
yeah.
try to like clap back or anything?
Not-
Because I just remember.
I know
I
Eminem.
just remember, like, what did Fred Durst even do? He was just trying to shake his hand or something, right?
No, there was something.
Probably.
If I remember correctly, DJ Lethal said something shitty to a magazine interview about Eminem, and Eminem was like, "Fred, get your boy," and like Fred was like, "I'm out of this. Like, I'm neutral." And then I know on I think it's the first D12 album that Eminem's on. The hidden track is called "Girls," and it's all about it's just a diss track towards Limp Bizkit. It's pretty funny.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, we got some chat going on now. Mikey Shero said he made it, so he is probably sitting in his whitey tighties in his living room jerking off.
Nice.
So that's what I would guess
Sir.
he's doing. So
I like it.
Mikey, cheers to you. Hot in this
Cheers.
world, you know. Judgmental Hop. Cheers, y'all. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
How are you, Alvin? Thomas Clark. He gave us the horns, man. Hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah. Thomas Clark, you fucking late, dude.
We did start early. In fairness, we started much earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did start early. What time have we been doing? 6:30.
6:30. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go to practice after this, so that's why we started kind of early. Also, Judgmental Hop says Coke hinders performance for sure. He also said Fred Durst was too tweaked out.
That's why I didn't
Mikey
help.
Shero says you're right. Picture you in that living room in that chair, that special chair, sweating it out, Texas heat.
Here, speaking of Fred Durst and some of his beefs over the years, do you remember the ICP dropkick?
Oh, let's see it, dude.
What is that?
Watch, he misses.
What a pussy, goodness going on. It's one
Wow,
So, anyways, I read into it a little more.
dude.
Apparently,
Man, he should practice drop kicking first before he
What?
goes live with
but
it.
that's the thing. He was a wrestler. He was in WCW and WWF back in the day. He was
Oh my
like he's got a whole wrestling organization that they do.
Was that Shaggy Two Dope?
Yeah, that was Shaggy.
I feel like he changed his mind like mid kick. Like
Okay,
he was mid air.
So
like,
I was reading about it.
I'm about to boot this dude off stage, and then he changed his mind.
I was reading about it a minute ago. So Violent J has said that he was drunk and that he did that intentionally because they're both wrestling fans. Like Fred Durst his rolling song was used for the Undertaker's entrance for a long time because he'd come out on the motorcycle. And Fred Durst is a playable character in one of the WWF SmackDown games on PS1.
Yes, I do remember that.
So they're both wrestling fans, and supposedly Violent J said that he meant to miss him, that he wasn't trying to hurt him, and that it was a misunderstanding. He was drunk and just acted dumb. And apparently Violent J has reached out through Instagram to Fred Durst and apologized and squashed their beef. But I just remember that was a big deal when it happened. Like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Drop kicking people on stage and shit when they're not looking?
Fucking Shaggy Two Dope.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Fucking Shaggy Two Dope.
Been a
man.
lot cooler if you did.
But anyways, has ICP ever beefed with anyone?
Everyone. They beefed with Eminem like huge. So the story,
Really?
the story with that
Magnets. They beef with magnets.
They beef with magnets. I don't know why I know all these stupid stories. So apparently, ICP
Deodorant probably.
ICP was playing a show and Eminem was like handing out flyers at their show for like his release, his album release party or something. And he handed one of the flyers to ICP and they grabbed it and it said featuring ICP. Like he was saying that they were going to be there and they were like, we didn't agree to be there. And that's kind of what started their conflict because he was trying to use their popularity in Detroit or wherever the fuck they're all from. And yeah. Then they all had a bunch of songs. The Marshall Mathers LP has a sketch where both of the ICP dudes are sucking some dude's dick, and they're like, oh, Shaggy, don't use the teeth. Don't use the teeth. What? When people beef, they just go straight to sucking dick.
I guess
That's what we've learned
go
here.
to. Yeah.
Well, that's like in a real fight. Most people are just like, "Oh yeah, well, fuck, you suck dick, suck my dick, suck dick," and that's all they really, Whenever your Neanderthal brain goes to like fight place, you're
Yeah.
just like, "Suck my dick, hey, suck my dick,
Yeah.
you over there, suck my dick."
Oh, that's right.
very
Okay,
homoerotic.
in chat, the ICP released a song called Slim Anus. And then,
Oh,
yeah, Eminem even fired back on that line. He's like, you're damn right I'm
Nice.
Slim Anus, because I don't get fucked in mine like you two, or something like that.
Got 'em.
oh, you know what though? There is. I wrestled a bear once. Had beef with a couple of people.
Bears.
Wait,
And
whoa,
if you
Bears. Hold on,
Bears.
hold on. What are you about to say that
Bears.
is this a toy,
Uh,
horror story?
Your story.
Got him.
And it's also a beef edition. So roll that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wrong one.
Where's the beef?
Oh, that beautiful.
I got too many buttons now.
Yeah. Look at that. We're fucking killing
We're
it.
doing it, guys.
You're killing it, Toby.
Professional.
This is like the sickest show.
Getting there.
This is better than Carson.
Soon we will have beef with another podcast.
Ooh, I
We're getting
hope.
that big.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that sounds so sick.
What's that one show called? Metalcore Nerds? We're calling you out right now.
Whoa, don't do that. I'll have to have this conversation behind closed doors first. But anyways, I wrestled a bear once. Had beef with, well, it was like one of them was very short-lived, and then the second one was like, I don't know, it was getting annoying, honestly. And it was between girls. It was all the girls that got this beef started. One time, I think it was the All-Stars tour. Us and In This Moment were like, I think we're right in the spot where we would flip-flop. So sometimes it would be us, that was the later one, and sometimes it would be them. Sometimes we'd play before them, you know what I mean? And I remember the very first day, things were like very hectic. You know, when you're doing a tour like that and you get there and you have like 12 plus bands on like 2 different stages, and they just you have to be on time. You're like, it's hectic. You don't know anybody, and if you do know bands, some of the bands, it's like just a couple, and it's like your stage might not be with theirs. Anyways, so the point is, like, I remember us standing there waiting, and we're like looking at our clock, and we're like, all right, this should be their last song. And then it was like, all right, let's keep it going. And we were like, oh, seems like they're running over a little bit, and we're supposed to start soon, or we should already be getting our stuff on stage. And then we're like, okay, this one should be the last one. And then they're like, all right, one more for y'all. And then Krista started getting pissed. She was like, what the fuck? And then finally, when they end and we start going on stage, and then when we end up playing, we end up having to cut a song. And so at that point, after we were done, Krista was just livid and just fucking saying shit out loud, and she was just like, what the fuck? They fucking went over so fucking long. We had to cut a fucking song. And I guess some of the In This Moment dudes were kind of like close enough to hear it. And Krista's like, fuck that bitch. And that stuff. And then finally, before the end of the show, that day, even, like, some of the dudes came up and we were all talking, and they were like, hey, we really didn't know what the time was, and we just thought that if we started late, we could still finish on time, and they were just going to push y'all set to where you still had a full amount of time, because they started late, so they're still just going 30 minutes. And he was like, I wasn't clear on that. Somebody told me the wrong thing. So after that, cleared it up. But It was just so funny to watch Krista, the girl in our band, be single out the girl in their band and be like, "This fucking bitch, I know it's her fault." But also though, this one is another one. One time we did a tour, and it was OTEP, and it was us and Stray from the Path, and everyone that played in OTEP, the band itself, were the coolest dudes. And then she was kind of awful. And she would like, I don't know, they would keep things on stage. And like, whenever, if it was any of her stuff, and we would be like, can we please get this moved so we have more stage room? And like, she'd be like, nah, it stays. And then like, whoever their tour manager was would be like, you know what? I'll move it. It's fine, you know. And it would always be this thing where like, we didn't actually talk to her. We would talk to people in her crew. And then like, there was times where like girls would come out and be like, I just want to talk to her. I'm gonna hang out by the bus. She's my hero. And like, she would literally never come out, and just these different girls would be crying because they're like, she's just never gonna come out and talk to me, please.
No.
And then she'd be like, nope, never talk to anybody. And then she would like, apparently in her bus, she would have the back room of the bus, like the back lounge, was all hers, and she would poop in bags and drop them out the window.
Nice.
And
Souvenirs.
She refused to like walk in public when the show was happening. So it was like super weird. Super weird.
Wow.
So yeah, so to this day,
gosh.
I mean, you know, allegedly, I don't speak for Stray from the Path, but we would all be like, what is happening, dude? Why? Like, why is this person not a human? They were like, I don't know. Otep seemed pretty full of herself, so.
Ugh.
Well, so I want to touch on in this moment. So that was the All Stars tour. You guys crossed over with the Scream the Prayer. What was that one tour called?
Yeah,
Scream
there was a couple of Scream the Prayer. It was a couple of dates that ran into each other.
So you guys, I remember that year because you guys hit Dallas. I went to it. That's when the Scream the Prayer merged, and so I want to play our new bumper because this is going to be a Tales from the Pit.
From the pit.
It's so loud.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was so loud. Anyways, so
Good though.
so I didn't know who In This Moment was at the time, and their vocalists, and I can't stand them. I won't give them a chance. I won't listen to them. I've had friends that are like, oh, that's my favorite band. I'm not fucking listening to them. She got off stage, which is cool. When the vocalist gets off stage and gets in the pit, you're like, fuck yeah, that's cool. Or anyone, the guitarist jumps off, you know, that's always cool. And I've told this story on the show before. She got off the stage, got into the middle of the pit, and she was like, I want a circle pit. And then all of a sudden, these big, like, security guards, like, followed her. And they were so tight around her that there's no way she could possibly, like, no one could touch her. And as people were circle pitting around her, she was like, if any of you touch me, these guys are going to fuck you up. And it just killed the entire vibe of the show, of everything. And it was just like, why are you getting in the crowd and trying to be cool if you're just going to like complain about everything and just be not very fun? Not that like I endorse like people just going up and grabbing her and shit, but like,
Yeah. It'd be fun to do that though, ironically, right? You're just like, circle pit, don't fucking touch me.
that's what it felt like. Like it felt like this.
Don't touch me, loser.
It felt like this really like tough thing to do, and then all of a sudden you're like, but don't touch me. Just beat the shit out of each other in the circle pit, stomp on each other, and keep running.
And then when you get back on stage, you're like, I was so scared just now.
But yeah, so I've never given them another chance after that. So it just kind of sounds like maybe she's a diva. I don't know. It just kind of sounds like it.
You never know. You never know.
No.
You never know. you know, I some people think I'm a diva. You know what I mean? And
You know,
it's like, but why? You know,
listen.
why?
When you wear that gold chain now, and you're like, this is your like Superman emblem. You're the gold chain.
Yeah, dude, that's my confidence chain. Dude.
My
It,
confidence.
it actually it when I wear it, it sheds me of all impurities. So it's just no
Oh, okay.
diva,
That's what-
no
It
no
blocks it.
scaredness. I'm not scared. I'm not scared about anything.
Does it like
I-
it keeps everything in, right? It doesn't let all your fears and your divaness out. It just holds it all in.
No, man, that's a different person wearing that chain, dude. He's like the most confident man in the universe. But if I had met aliens, I guess I would be kind of scared. It's like, so maybe not in the whole universe, maybe just like in my county. This chain makes me the most confident man in all of the county.
A beef man.
Yeah. No beef with me. Wear that chain, I beef with no one.
Damn right.
I'm only there for the greater good. Anyway, sorry.
Excuse me.
Anyways, hey guys, so we is any more about beef, guys? You guys all
Can't think of any more beef.
well, guys, it's time to talk about X-Men finally. I've been waiting, you know. At least I miss Fuzz today, but you know, he wouldn't have much to say about X-Men except for he'd probably be like, "Those X-Men movies are God's gift to man," you know. just because it pisses me off really bad. So that's probably what he would say, because those X-Men movies are god awful garbage for the most part.
Pretty rough.
Pretty rough. But yeah, we're gonna talk about X-Men today
X-Men
because
97.
X-Men 97 was super dope. It was if you don't know what that is, it's a continuation of the old 90s animated series, and it was like kind of a continuation, but it kind of had a reboot feel to it at the same time. And I thought it was pretty dope. I thought it was like the sickest shit that has been going on in the Marvel, banner for a while. So, what did you guys think about it?
I thought it was dope. It was like Invincible mixed with the old school X-Men. You know what I mean? Like it had that updated, like kind of violent nature to it at some points, which I liked.
Yeah.
And then they brought in new characters, new storylines, updated it for, current, I don't know, societal issues and whatnot.
Well,
Which
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
always kind of had their
Oh yeah.
like thumb on the pulse of that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so
And
it makes sense.
X-Men is always like, the thing that's super weird about this is like, I realized it whenever it was happening is like, there are a bunch of people that are calling X-Men super woke right now, and they're like,
Jesus.
and
yeah.
but it's the reason why is we haven't had good X-Men shit for a lot since that animated
yeah.
series. You know what I mean? So it's like people's view that don't know any better of X-Men at this point is not accurate to what they represent. You know what I mean?
Well, and they were
Like,
kids
all
when
of
they
the-
used to watch it. Like they haven't gone back and I'm sure we have rewatched X-Men, the old cartoon, in the last 10 years. We've rewatched some of the episodes, most of the episodes, whatever. A lot of these people that are like, these aren't my X-Men, that's because you haven't watched it since you were a kid. You haven't read the comics. You
Right.
haven't kept up with all the stories. And I think you're right. The movies that we did get didn't ever touch on anything. It was just like, I mean, they kind of did. Don't get me wrong. They
did it lightly.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, it didn't just hit you in the face with what the messages would have been. So,
Right. Yeah. Like literally all the messages in X-Men since I first picked up an X-Men comic or watched the animated series is literally just like, these are all the people that are different, and these are all the people that are treated like shit, and you know what I mean. So it's like an allegory for racism and people that are sexist and people that are like against homosexuality. You know what I mean? And I guess everybody forgot that, or just don't know that that are calling it woke.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But they've been doing that with the comics for a long time too. Like when they finally made Iceman like come out and be gay, like there was such a stupid uproar. Like, why are you making my X-Men gay? He's never been gay in the 70 years he's been around. And it's like, well, yeah, that's the point of the story, is he's having a coming out story and he's trying to find himself and like he's trying to figure it out. And people don't get it. They just don't get that kind of stuff.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, if you did read X-Men, there was like a bunch of people I thought were gay. You know what I mean? I mean, first of all, let's talk about how they're all standing around like tight as fuck with their fucking skin tight suits on. And they're always high-fiving and they're always slapping each other on the ass after they do some cool X-Men shit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Gambit in that cut-off shirt, you know? In the comic, he wasn't even. He was just wearing like some skin tight jorts in that basketball scene, and they threw a shirt on him. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, I don't know.
People fucking
It's just
hated
funny
that
to me.
shirt so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
I was like, have you ever seen Gambit? Like, have you ever heard him talk? And like how his whole personality, like that. I thought that matched. Like he's, and it's the 90s. Like this is supposed to take place in the 90s when that was.
he had pink. He had a pink shirt on. Like his X-Men,
Crop tops for dudes were popular.
Well,
back
his
then.
X-Men outfit, his like battle costume is literally a trench coat over a pink, like, you know what I mean? Like, and his fingerless gloves, like.
Come on.
But see, here's the other thing: is like how in love with Rogue he is. So like, why is it that big of a deal that he's just wearing something because he's for whatever, whatever. But
it's the 90s and everybody wants to be mad about some shit.
I guess I don't know. You changed my X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they always been a little gay.
A little gay.
Absolutely. X-Men have always been the outcasts. And I'm not saying that gay people are outcasts, but I'm saying like they've just always been the different ones, like the scene kids, if you will, or like the goth kids, like any like sub societal culture, marginalized group. That was the X-Men. That's who they were, and they're always getting called out for it. By, you could call them like normies, I guess, in the comics, calling them muties and all that shit. Like, that's what they were supposed to be, and that's what they've always been.
It's the government,
literally hate groups. You know what I mean? That like try and attack them and set them back. You know,
they have slur words to describe them.
Well,
that's
they have like people. They deal with like the government, like trying to, whatever with mutants and stuff. So like, I mean, it's trying to be too involved with things and like. I don't know. I don't get how people don't see like, this is what it's always been. It's just it's silly, right? It's silly.
Yeah,
it is silly. I think that the funny thing that I noticed about that, I mean, for the most part, everybody is loving the show, and I'm guessing that the people that know what X-Men is have known that it's like the original woke, instead of the way that everybody uses it now.
Yeah.
Like, all woke used to be is like, hey, remember that your friends like are, minorities and they should be treated equally. That's the way woke was originally.
Well, now,
but like
woke is like you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want to be held accountable for anything. So, that means I'm woke, or you're being woke towards me because you're trying to make me be accountable for something.
Yeah. But I did think it was funny that there was way more of this kind of stuff before the show came out. Like there would be YouTubers and like articles dropping, being like, X-Men is woke, right? And then it's like, they're coming out and saying Morph is non-binary, and it's like Morph can literally be a boy or a girl. You know what I mean? So he is the only person you could probably call technically. Like technical to its core as non-binary.
Like Morph and maybe Mystique.
Right.
Like they're the two that can like transform back and forth between male and female.
Right.
And they're not trying to do it with they're
legitimately.
They're not trying to do it to a character that's like, I don't know.
Right. They're not changing
They're not, yeah, they're not touching anyone where everyone would cry about it. They're giving it to the character that it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense because of their abilities.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, they're not trying to make like Wolverine have they them pronouns. Or
I would
anything.
love that. I would fucking love
Not
it.
something like that. It's like it's something that makes sense.
I mean, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say one thing I loved about this show though is that the first episode still felt like it was for kids. And did y'all notice the sneaky little things where they were making it slightly more adult every episode for us? Because, you know, but it's not like too extreme adult. Like, it's not like we're watching one of the Deadpool movies. But they slipped in some cuss words here and there. By the end of it, there was blood. There's never been... I can't recall a time where there has actually been blood in an X-Men episode. And there may have been...
Well,
so
it was like even... Sorry, it was even like... The episodes themselves were getting you ready, right? They were like warming you up for that. Like you started going into it and you're like, wow, this really does feel nostalgic. But it's like, I don't know, I'm a grown up now. And then it slowly started doing more grown up things.
And you followed it.
Yeah. And then episode 4 was like the Jubilee episode, right? And the message in that episode was like she, you know, they went into this video game and it was like her seeing her past memories, and then she got to a point where she's like, it's rad, I like being here, these are old memories, you know. And then they're like, Sunspot is like, well, we have to get out of here, you can't just be hanging around all this old stuff, you have to grow and you have to move on. And you know what I mean? And then it was like the next episode they're like, we're gonna kill everyone. And you were like, oh my god, they tried to warn me.
That was a really good warning episode. Like they really like that was a home run of an episode to like to gradually, because up until then it's been like, I think Wolverine sneaks in the word damn at one point, and like if you catch it, you caught it and you're like, huh, okay. But that was the turning point where they're like, okay, we know you love this stuff. Yeah. We're about to turn it up. It's about to get real.
It was like, no, you are not safe anywhere, and you should be prepared. And I was like, oh my god, this is, I don't know, because you know, honestly, I've seen a few interviews with like the creator talking about it, and he like put out a big thing about it. You know, he was saying that he helped write lots of the show, and he's a gay black man. And he was saying that there was like, I'm sorry, I didn't do my homework on this, but there was a shooting at a gay nightclub that he would go to, and it was closed down after this shooting happened. And he was like, it changed everything. And he was also like comparing it to like where we're at as a society. It's like there was a certain point in time like in our society where like nothing feels like it's safe anymore, and it's like doesn't feel like it's fun and games anymore. And like that's what they wanted to kind of translate in the show, and it worked because you're just like, oh, now it feels like the way things are like after episode 5, you know what I mean? Before that, it was like all fun and games. Then after episode 5, you're like, why am I crying?
Dude, there was a couple of episodes that got me that I was just like,
yeah,
I'm a 35-year-old man watching a cartoon that I used to watch when I was a kid. It's making me upset. That was the funnest part. That was the funnest part. Every Wednesday when the episodes it was Wednesday, right? Yeah. Every Wednesday that I could watch them, or whenever I got my chance, I always had to make a bowl of cereal and just sit there and just eat cereal and watch some X-Men. It was the highlight of my week most of the weeks because it was so good.
Yeah.
Now, some of the future stories, like because they did do a couple of storylines from 90s and stuff, but I texted you specifically and I was like, they're about to do Avengers versus X-Men. And you were like, why? I was like, because the Rogue thing. And I know that they set up a lot. The last
Yeah.
couple episodes set up so many cool like future story ideas and stuff. And that's one of the cool things about X-Men is that they've always like had 2 or 3 stories like lined up. It was never like I mean there was always filler episodes, but usually they had a bunch of stuff that they would hint at, and then like, dude, we got a payoff to Cable from like one of the first 10 episodes, you know, like
Yeah, I always thought it was weird that they acted oblivious to who he was in the past series, you know, in
Yeah.
the old school series. And then now they finally tied it together. It only took 20 years.
but it was cool. Like
Oh, by the way,
Yeah. Or more than 20 years, I apologize.
my one complaint, the retcon that they did with Rogue and Magneto, to be like, oh no, they had relationships before, like
Right, but you couldn't set that up in the original
No.
series. You know what I mean? You did it. They did it in the comic. That's it was one of those things where like, yeah, well, we're gonna retcon this, but we did it in the comic.
Yeah.
If
No,
you read-
I totally understand why they did it and why they went ahead and just sort of like, but my little kid mind was like, but none of the old cartoons make sense. They fought so many times and they never once like acknowledged each other like that or anything, you know? So
Yeah.
I should have just went with it. But every time they were like talking and stuff, I'd be like, y'all weren't friends before. Y'all were fighting and stuff. So I don't know. It fucked me up a little.
Yeah, I think that so the people. Okay, so the whole series. I'm gonna ask a few questions to get some talk, and then we'll move on after this. But let's start with favorite moments of the whole show. Top 3. I'm gonna go first. Okay, this is all spoilers too. For anyone who's being like, "Oh, don't talk about it. I haven't seen it." Mikey, hopefully you've fucking seen it. You're a nerd. Number 1, Cyclops landing.
So stupid. Stupid.
Dude, freaking
cool, though.
Sentinel rips the top off of the Blackbird. Cyclops saws it down, saws the top of its head off with his blast. And all of the X-Men catch each other. The ones that could fly catch the ones that can't fly, go to the ground. And he lands with his optic blast like he's a fucking spaceship. Like, damn, son. Some shit they never have ever done. They haven't even used Cyclops' powers cool in any of the movies. Literally never did anything beyond just
Well, and there's some scenes where he's using it and it pushes him back, so he has like strategical like movements with it too.
Yeah,
So it's really
yeah.
cool. They really added a little depth to that optic blast.
Yeah, well, even like at the end, like one of the last, or maybe the last episode, he's like trying to break up the asteroid, I think.
Yeah.
And he just takes off his whole visor and goes full like Marvel versus Capcom, like.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, like they never did shit in the movies to like make like. There was even a scene in Dark Phoenix where like they're trying to highlight everyone's powers. And they're literally just crossing the street, like, to go into this place. And I was like, they all look stupid. They're only crossing the street, and they're, like, trying to give us a show-off of their powers. All they're doing is crossing the fucking street. They're not even engaging right now. And it pisses me off so bad that, like, you could spend millions of dollars to make these movies and not even fucking try to do cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, sorry. Second coolest was obviously the Sentinel, the wild Sentinel that attacked Genosha. That whole scene
Dude, it's
was like
wild.
traumatic and awesome. Like just every single bit of it. Like especially like it's like Magneto's trying to fight the wild Sentinel with a fucking train. Everyone's dying. Magneto ends up having a flashback to a fucking concentration camp in the middle of the shit going down. He starts doing nunchucks with trains. Yeah. Then obviously Rogue, he tries to protect Rogue. She blasts out. She's trying to go for it, and then Gambit like uses a motorcycle to like run into Rogue to get her out of the way. Oh man, wild shit.
I'm gonna have
Like-
to throw that in.
that whole episode.
I-
That whole episode just went crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add that. That way, I don't have to repeat myself because that whole scene is just like you are on the edge of your seat, even though it's a fucking cartoon. You're like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and then when it happens with Gambit, you're just like, what I just watch? What I just watched? So yeah, I'll add that to
Yeah.
my top 3.
Yeah. And it's like the type of thing too where like when you watched the original animated series, episode 1 was Morph gets killed, and it's pretty much like there to set the stakes, right? It's like we created this character just to die to show you that somebody on the X-Men can freaking die during this, right? And then they come back with a revival show and they're like, we're here to show you that the main X-Men could die in the show. We're like, oh god, like why? So third, obviously, I mean, it's a tie between Wolverine getting his adamantium ripped out
God damn, that was a moment.
Oof.
or Magneto going to the North Pole in his Speedo and EMPing the whole Earth. Like he's like, I don't care if it's cold out here. I will EMP the Earth in these sexy Speedos. But yeah, those are
wow.
my top moments, What do you guys think?
I don't know if I have a top 3 exactly, but I do love that they gave Gambit a real story arc.
Yes.
Because we haven't seen anything good from Gambit in any of the movies.
Yeah.
So, and he's always been one of my kind of favorite characters. Also, the same thing with Nightcrawler. He was more involved in this one, which I don't even know. Was he in the original animated series?
Cameo.
I don't even remember.
He had a couple
He
of
cameoed.
episodes, and then he had the weird thing where he talks to Wolverine about religion. It's a really weird episode.
Yeah. And he was like, that one fight scene where he was like doing the poof and
The
transport
swords.
teleporting.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
When he had the
Yeah.
3 swords, that was fucking dope.
It was a badass fight scene.
Oh yeah, and then when he accidentally dragged Wolverine through one of his teleportations, and it's like happens in slow motion from Wolverine's perspective, he's like, whoa.
Yeah. And okay, I have to say my favorite like scene is when Gambit piggybacks on Wolverine
Yes.
and
Yeah.
lights up his claws.
Oh yeah,
And he fucking chops off that Sentinel's head.
yeah.
It's so sick.
I love
That's
this.
the best.
Literally, Master Mold stands up and goes, "Do not underestimate us," and then he's like,
I like that
Yeah.
there is some like really great progression of like the X-Men have fucked with these Sentinels many times. They know how to take them out easily now. So
right.
it's not like that at the very beginning where it was a struggle to fight one. Yeah, they can take on a bunch of them because they know the weaknesses. They know what to do. Beast controls one like he's in a mech suit, So like it's
Yeah.
really cool
That was tight too. That was
Yeah.
tight.
that you can see.
Or fucking Cyclops was like, "Give him the forecast."
Yeah. There's some good one-liners too,
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
What happens to frogs when they're hit by lightning?
Oh my God.
they took some jabs at the movies too.
Yeah.
Who's he talking to when he's like, spandex? Is that what you're wearing? He's like, what? Did you want black leather? Which is a really
yeah.
funny
They did
callback to the.
They did the reverse.
yeah, loved it.
He's talking to Cable.
Oh, Cable, that's right,
But yeah, those movies though, who
dude.
knows what was going on?
I think I can't really pick a 3. I think I'm gonna take away that one that I was gonna use from you. I'm so excited about all the setup stuff. So I was bummed out about Gambit. I was so bummed out. I was like, oh, that fucking sucks because I didn't know what they were gonna do, especially since Storm had lost her powers. I was like, oh no, I felt like what they were doing is kind of pushing out some of the old X-Men to move in some new characters, get some new IPs in there and new toys to sell.
Yeah, but how are they gonna do Gambit like that? They haven't even given him.
But when
His-
Apocalypse says something about death at the end, oh, setting
Oh yeah, I
up.
forgot. I totally forgot Apocalypse showed up at the very end.
So he sets up that Gambit's going to be Death, which is so fucking cool because he's one of the Horsemen later. They set up the Avengers versus X-Men, which is a more modern story, which is going to be so good when they finally get to it. They just set up so many cool things. Okay, I one of my top favorite moments was when Magneto's in court and like he takes the podium and everything up into like the
Oh
sky.
yeah.
It's such a good speech. Like it's so good. It's
The speeches that Magneto gives in the dialogue in general, like he is the goat of the whole season. Like Magneto and Rogue pretty much stole the show story wise
Yeah.
from like everyone. You know what I mean? Like you felt the most because of them. You know what I mean?
you know
And especially like especially his dialogue though. He would be like, don't make me disappoint you, and you're just like,
fucking
damn,
gaslighter.
son.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Son of a bitch.
Or even Gambit, what he's talking, they're doing that like three-way, like talking shit to each other because it's like Rogue, Gambit, and Magneto all go together to Genosha, right? And he says something to Magneto about orders, and he's like, I'm the one that makes the orders. And you're like, oh God, Magneto always knows what to say to everyone, dude. But what were you gonna say?
I
Tobes?
forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be good. Hopefully, the next season's good. I know that everyone is like rallying behind Bo DeMeo to be brought back into the project because the first season was so dope. But who knows? And hopefully, apparently the popularity of the show has got the wheels turning for a possible new X-Men movie. And apparently it's going to be like the X-Men, like or the same cast from the X-Men movies, but they're going to do them properly as characters. And then maybe go into Secret Wars, and some people are going to be guest starring. There's a rumor that for Secret Wars, I think it was Robert Downey Jr. was like, if he was like, if okay, y'all do Secret Wars, I'll come back if I could share the screen with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I'll come back for that. And apparently, behind the scenes, there are rumors that for Secret Wars, those characters will end up being like the main roles of the movie.
Take my goddamn money. Take my goddamn money.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
apparently Marvel right now is like, man, we've been messing up trying to, give you characters that you're not that into. And now there's like rumors of a Chris Evans return, and it's like it's going to be like a series about how he returned the Infinity Stones. And that's a rumor in the bag. There's
Okay.
like there's a rumor about a World War Hulk storyline that might be in the next Avengers movie.
So
And
the
so
the
they're-
problem with the MCU is they went Ultimate Marvel Universe, like where everyone can die, or everyone can get old, or stuff can happen to them, and there's serious consequences. Besides the snap was undone completely, but like that's kind of what was the problem with the Ultimate Universe is they killed off all your favorite characters. Now we're in the real world with the MCU. These actors are going to get older, and they're going to want more money, and it's going to be not possible. So I get why they would want to kill off Tony Stark, get rid of Captain America. They want to get rid of these characters and move new characters in, because if this MCU is going to continue as it is and not get rebooted or anything, then sure, move on to the new characters. But that's kind of what they did in the Ultimate Universe, and look where the Ultimate Universe is now. It's been disassembled, and characters are in the main continuity of the 616 right now, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that they can't. I don't know. It's a tricky thing because live action You have to do that because Robert Downey Jr. is not gonna stay. He can't play Iron Man forever. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
get too
Right,
old.
but I think that what is initially going to happen is like instead of them trying to push new characters on us that we don't care about, they're going to remember the top selling comic books and remember the heavy hitter characters and then just reboot them at a certain point. Like after Secret Wars, there's rumors that all of the Avengers will be recast, and then we'll also get a recast of all the X-Men and a reboot of all the X-Men. And then we finally get them to all play together in the same sandbox, but it will be a fresh cast. So
And that's what they're gonna have to do. And I like that. But there's gonna be so many people that are like, but I want to see this actor play this character instead of like letting the role get tossed around, you know. So
right.
it's just gonna be that we're gonna have to deal with that forever now.
It's true, but we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to teach that mainstream audience that comic books are wacky and weird, and different artists draw them differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And different actors will play them differently.
yeah, and different universes, will happen in all these scenarios. So.
I think that's one thing that they could do to save the current MCU is start saying, "Oh yeah, this is and this would confuse the casual viewer." Now, comic book people that have read these forever, they'll be like, I'm good with this. And especially since they've been explaining like, hey, there's timelines and stuff. If you were like, okay, this is an MCU 616, this is MCU 712, or, whatever number they want to say, that way they can be like, this story fits with these movies. Because we've already got what universe are they saying the MCU is? I know that I've heard
616.
Yeah, so it's the MCU 616.
They called it 616, and you know what the funny thing about that is, the chick, it's like Non-Villani or whatever that she plays, Ms. Marvel. Apparently, everybody gave Kevin Feige shit because she was like, "Why did we call this one the 616? The 616 is the main continuity of the comic book. These are the movies. These should be named a different,
I think so too.
number." And it's like,
she gets it. She gets it.
I bet Kevin Feige was like, "God damn it."
But see, you know what? In a universe where everyone doesn't know the other universes and you're just naming them, wouldn't two universes be like, "Oh, we called ourselves a 616"? If they ever had to interact, they'd be like, one of us has to change. So,
I mean, it would probably be like the Watcher that would name them all anyways.
Right? Yeah. But I wish that's what they would do. I wish they would say, "Hey, those X-Men movies, they're actually MCU this universe," and that way you can have them all be in the same playground, just on different sections of the playground. Like you're over here on the swings, you're over here on the slides. You have your own universes. And I mean, that's what they've done essentially, but like, I wish
think after Secret Wars, it will get cleaned up a little bit.
I think so too.
I mean? Yeah. Because, I don't think we'll get another Captain Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
I think that's done.
Yeah. Who knows if we'll ever get a continuation to like, what is the one with the Celestials? Eternals?
Eternals. Yeah, I couldn't watch that
because they kind of set some shit up that was cool moving forward. They kind of set up Blade and the Black Knight for coming out of that, but who knows if we'll. I mean, I know they're working on Blade, but who knows if we'll see any of those other characters from that movie.
I want to see. We haven't gotten to see a proper Mandarin. Is that his name? With the rings?
Name.
What's the guy with all the rings? The 10 rings.
Yeah.
Iron Man's villain.
No. He's in the 10 Rings, bro.
No, that was the actor. Remember, he's not the...
No, in Shang-Chi, they introduced the real Mandarin in that.
Was that him?
Yeah, the 10 rings. Remember how the rings...
Well, they were like gauntlets. They weren't like the rings. They were like the gauntlet things.
So even in that movie, they pretty much tell you when you meet the real Mandarin, he says that, and some people call me this, some people call me that, some people have called me by a fictional name, the Mandarin, or something like that.
Oh, see, I didn't. Okay, maybe that's
and-
why I didn't like connect it. If he like
and
played it off instead of being like, "Oh, I am him."
he was saying, he like explained to them that like there has been copycats of his empire, like, and that's what he was explaining.
Okay,
as well.
I probably just got confused with because that was a really clunky story. Anyways, I felt.
I mean, it was kind of clunky because they had to like make an off-screen like YouTube video cinematically to explain that.
Oh, I
this was a
do
different
vaguely remember
Mandarin.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started making like short after Iron Man 3. There was a couple times where they did like 10-minute long short cinematic things to just kind of like clean up a couple of narrative points. You know what I mean?
The Mandarin one, the one where he's in prison, the actor, he's in prison. That one was a really good short. That short was awesome because
Did you watch Shang-Chi?
I did, but now I'm not remembering because, like I said, it was the Gauntlet.
Because remember,
He's in it
because he's in it. That same guy, because
and the dragon's
the real
in it.
the real Mandarin took that actor out of prison and was keeping him on the facility.
I guess I just didn't put that together.
Yeah. And he like helps them like navigate
Yeah,
through
he helps them escape.
Ah.
The guy who played the fake
I
Mandarin.
need to
Ben
watch it
Kingsley.
again. It's been so long. Maybe I've just forgotten. Anyway, whatever.
You know that guy, Ben Kingsley.
You know Ben Kingsley.
That guy.
Do we want to? I know we're getting probably long on time, but do we want to play my little game real quick?
Yeah, let's play it.
All right.
Do we want to
Would
say
you like to
anything
play a
else about
game?
the X-Men right now?
I love it. I want more of it. I don't want to wait either. I'm pissed. What was
Yeah.
that? 8 episodes?
Same. Yeah, no, it was 10.
Let's go back to the 90s. I want 20 fucking 5 episodes, motherfuckers.
Dude, remember fucking Lost?
Yeah, but we don't get to just come home every day after school and watch X-Men.
Yeah.
Bullshit, I would.
Dude.
I'd come home from work and eat a bowl of cereal and sit there and fucking watch me some X-Men.
Who's your favorite X-Man?
Has it got to be a man?
Oh,
No, I mean, like, is it Bruce Jenner or?
Bravo. That was good. That was good.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, X-Men's dope. That's
Yep.
yeah. So hopefully they do this rumored movie. That's the cast of the old X-Men movies.
I don't know
brought
how I
back.
feel about that, honestly.
I think it's great
I think so,
because
too.
they,
I thought that they were gonna kill them off in Deadpool 3, and I thought that was perfect because you get to bring them back, you get to give them a little justice, and then you kill them off and make way for the new like reboot of actual like X-Men.
I mean, that's still.
It just seems like a whole extra step to make a whole nother movie with old characters, old actors.
I mean, that's true, but from my perspective, it was perfect casting in a lot of those characters and the most ass writing I've ever seen.
That's fair.
So it's like, if you're telling me that everyone is going to come back just like Hugh Jackman is coming back just to give us a proper goodbye to that whole franchise, then fucking please. And then it also says,
No, I have the same sentiment. I just felt like Deadpool 3 was the best vehicle for that.
right. I still feel like we're going to get him killing a lot of. Well, I think that essentially you could still do the kill them off thing, but you just introduce the idea that the multiverse is a thing and there's all these different versions of the X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we still might see a bunch of people get killed off and him directly call them the X-Men franchise. But then we could just get one more ride. And then have them do actual things with their powers instead of nothing at all. Cerebro.
Hey, do you want to catch up on chat and let me take a quick break real quick?
Yeah.
Can we get Ben Foster back as Archangel? That'd be tight.
Is it in part 3?
I don't remember which one it was. It was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I love Ben Foster as an actor, and he was not like they did not give him any justice in that movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they didn't give anybody any
I
justice.
mean, he
but
looked cool.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like it's like, hey, look, he's got wings.
Yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
cool.
He flies.
And then like the thing
That's
is, they
about it.
tried to take, I'm just while he's in the bathroom, actually. They tried to
Gotta
take this
take care of it.
storyline about apocalypse, like to where they're like, we're offering the cure. We're offering the cure for mutants, and then like obviously Rogue is like, that makes sense for Rogue to be like, I mean, I would love to touch someone. I'm gonna go get a cure. So then, and then it doesn't even like Apocalypse is not even involved, and then like Archangel, it like gets turned in that process. He gets turned into, or Angel gets turned into Archangel in that process of that story.
Yeah.
So it's like you just did. You're like, hey, let's take one part of this story, and then all the cool shit that happens. We don't really need to do the cool shit.
We don't even we just skip past all that stuff.
Yeah, like y'all, they're crazy if you think we're gonna use all that cool shit. We're the writers, okay?
We don't have the budget for that.
Yeah, so that was so stupid. Hated that movie. And then they tried to slam the Dark Phoenix in there too. Which one was that? Was 3, right? Where they
3
did
had
the
the Dark
storyline
Phoenix.
about
Yeah.
No, where they tried to cure.
Yeah,
mutants?
with Angel being cured.
3. See, they just crammed so much
much.
shit in there.
Damn, yeah. I don't even remember.
And then they were like, hold up, let's put the Juggernaut bitch in there. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. We got time. No, we should probably do something else that's cooler. Oh man, we got
Nah.
time. It's a meme. Kids are going crazy for memes.
It's gonna be the next cool thing.
Yeah, so stupid. Anyways, Judgmental Hop said a bunch of stuff. What's up, Alvin? I don't know that's trash or which one you're saying that's awesome, because we were just kind of like in it.
We were riffing.
And he said roundhouse kicks her in the face. I know he was talking about in this moment.
Oh
chick.
yeah.
I'm a diva. Yeah, you're right. Michael Shero. Yeah, you are a diva. Okay, cool.
Everyone just confirming it.
Skip that.
Yeah. Judgmental Hop. The Wizard of Oz gave it to him. I can't remember what we were talking about for that one. Mr. Anti-Idiotic. I hope Peter Parker bangs Kitty Pryde in the MCU.
Dude, they might have set
That'd
it
be
up.
dope.
I mean, they did show some Peter Parker stuff.
I think that porno already exists.
Mr. Anti-Idiotic. Plus is plus
that
is-
was that
or
nightclub.
plus
The
is nightclub.
the-
The nightclub bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, me and Michael actually did talk about it. And then Old Head Mike, what's up, dog?
So,
He says, I have deets on Frankie. What's up, man?
Oh.
Can you spill the tea? We're ready.
Spill the beans. Spill the beef.
Spill the beef.
I forgot what we were talking about beans earlier.
Franken beef. It's Franken beef.
Franken beans.
Franken beef.
What you got, Old Head Mike? Also, how you been? Everybody go watch Old Head Mike's show too. Pretty
Okay.
tight.
Do you want to do my little game show? See how this goes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I meant to make a bumper and all the fun stuff because I'm cool like that, but I didn't have time. So we're just gonna go to it. So this
do
tour, I sent you guys this fucking tour the other day.
What the fuck is that?
So this is Peeling Flesh's tour poster.
Okay.
And it made me fucking want to vomit because of
Yeah.
of it. So let me tell you what bands are on there. Peeling Flesh is the top one. Okay.
I was gonna say it does look like a scab I had one time when I fell off my skateboard.
It really doesn't
So-
look like letters. Though.
Peeling flesh is actually pretty accurate.
Snuffed on Sight is one. Corpse Pile, Two Piece, Slime, and Bashed In. So, I saw this flyer and I was just like, my fucking head hurts because I cannot stand this. What do you call this writing? I've always called it like the grindcore writing because that's when when grindcore like was really popular. That's when I started seeing a lot of this. And I know it's like more like the deathcore
Yeah,
I
kind
would
of.
say death metal font.
Yeah.
That's what I've always kind of called it.
And I can't stand this kind of stuff. I cannot. I can't. Now I do like the ones that are like, "Can I pet your dog?" and it's written like this. I think that's really funny. Or it says Taylor Swift. That's super funny. But
I like font like this when you could still like tell what it is. You know what I mean? Like you could still see what the name is, but it's just splattery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. I like drawing stuff like that. You know?
So I've got
Yeah.
8 different band logos. These are smaller bands, or maybe they're bigger bands. I don't know. I don't keep up with this. When I see shit like this, it turns me off. I'm like, I don't care about this tour. Like, there's nothing on this that I'm gonna want to see. And they're probably really badass bands. I just have a problem. Like, it's stupid. So let's start off with our first one, and I've got some easy ones. But I want to see, we're going to try to decipher these, okay? Tell me what that says. I know what it says.
That's a racial slur. I can't say that on the microphone.
I think it says nuclear remains.
Okay, that's your guess. Rabbit, do you
That's
have
my
a guess on it right now? We got a point system. So,
Oh, we actually, I mean, we're guessing for real?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think it says nuclear remains as well.
Okay. Okay, so y'all both get a point on that one, because that one is correct. That is nuclear remains. Okay. So,
Yay.
good job, guys. I need sound effects and stuff. I'll have some like winter sound effects and stuff. All right.
Sweet.
Maybe y'all should just work together on these.
Uh,
Now, I'll give you a hint. This one is just 4 letters.
Oh,
I can see that, but
I thought it said Terra at first, but
say I
like,
saw
instead of terror,
thick.
it's like Terra.
Terra.
Tira's a bad bitch.
Yeah, it looks like it says THRA.
It's Cher. She's going back out on tour. Cher.
Sure.
Oh.
You said
Sick, dude.
you said THRA? Is that what you said?
Thra. Thra?
Thra.
That's not a word.
That's it. That's what it is. THRA. Thra.
Thra.
It's not a
Okay.
word.
Okay.
All right.
Cool, cool. Oh my gosh.
Now, this band I've actually heard of, but I didn't know their logo. So this is what they use on everything, all their merch and everything.
Does it say dead?
Death.
Rabbit
Wait,
says
hold
dead. Rickshaw says death. Y'all are missing a very key component before the word.
The number? Is there a
Oh.
number?
Ah.
9?
Yeah,
9?
9. There you go. Okay.
Nine.
Ice 9 kills?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
Rabbit was correct. It says 9 dead.
9 dead.
Oh, 9 dead.
And
okay.
I've never heard of that.
I've
band before.
never heard of the band, but I've heard the name. And I'm not saying these bands are good or bad. I'm just saying that their logos all are terrible. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, this one.
The Red Mass Rituals.
Oh, yeah.
Rabbit? Is that what you
Yeah.
see?
Well, as soon as he says it, I can read it.
Okay, so it
The
is.
Red Mass Ritual.
It's the Red Mass Ritual. No S. Red
Okay,
Mass
Ritual,
Ritual. Like, I don't think I could solve these if you just showed me these like I'm doing to you guys.
Uh huh.
This one's hard. They're about to get really hard and really ugly.
Executioner?
You were close. You were close.
X.
The X, I'll give you that. The EX is correct.
Exhumed. Is it exhumed or exhumer?
There you go. You got it. Exhumer.
Yeah.
Damn. I would have never in a million years gotten this fucking one. Okay.
Yeah, the middle gets all fucking weird. Okay, shit.
And I've looked for this
No.
band. This band uses this as their logo. It's on flyers and stuff.
Toby Keith. R.I.P.
Is there an arm in there?
It looks like Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Yeah. It looks like the end of Child's Play 2, dude. You know?
It looks like I ate a bunch of spaghetti and threw it up.
No idea.
All right. This one's Damnation's Domain.
Man, they don't say
What?
that.
Right. I don't.
Okay, let's go back to the
That
chat
one's-
real
that one's
fast.
hard, yeah.
Okay. Old Head Mike says 4 parts.
Hold on. Hold on.
1. Okay. 1. Alpha Wolf stopped hanging out with people on the tour at some point, and someone asked Frankie, and he said it was because they're woke, and he wasn't. 2, some girl was following the tour and kept yelling out something about Frankie being an abuser or something. Alpha Wolf heard, and instead of asking Frank or anything, talked to the tour manager, and he told him it was old news and to drop it. 3, Alpha Wolf went to take a picture with the whole tour, and Frankie was at the hotel. He told them to wait. He was on the way, and they told him no, so he yelled at them. 4, despite them, he went and got the other bands and got a picture to post without Alpha Wolf. Oh.
The tea got hotter.
He was like, yo, I'm on my way right now. And they were like, no.
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 You know,
Well,
I wish we had a statement from the other 2 bands, though, just to be like, dude, we're cool with everyone. We're just, because they're kind of being left out of this. Which is
Old
weird.
Head Mike says it's through the grapevine, so I can't say where I heard it. So that's his allegedly.
Fair, allegedly. All of this is allegedly. We don't know.
Yeah, this is alleged. This, you know what? And if it's made up, this is good writing. Either way. But thank you, Old Head Mike.
Yeah,
we
appreciate it.
appreciate the inside scoop. We should have like an inside edition kind of like bumper.
I'm the bumper guy right now. Like I'm enjoying my bumpers, so don't tempt me.
He's doing a lot of bumps.
A lot of bumps. A lot of bumps over here.
Doing a lot of bumps. Lately.
Okay.
What? So you got any more?
Yeah, I got
Guests
2
from
more.
that
I got
one?
2 more, and then we can wrap
All right, here we
everything
go.
up. Okay, so that was Damnation's Domain.
They don't say that.
Bullshit.
I call bullshit on
I
that.
call bullshit.
What about this one?
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not the typical
Oh.
like grindcore, deathcore looking font, but it's still one of those that was on flyers, and I was like, "What the fuck does that say?"
Limp Biscuit.
If you can guess
Something-
anything out of that, well,
I
there's,
say of.
Yeah,
I say
there's a-
of.
I shouldn't have
yeah.
said that. If you can guess the main words, I will be fucking shocked.
Abuse.
Oh, you got
None.
one! You got one! Holy shit! Okay. Of abuse.
I can't get the first one's pretty tough.
No, wait, nuns.
Nope, you're way off. On
Nuns
the
of abuse.
Nuns of abuse.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm actually just saying cool names right
Right,
now.
you're giving away these good
Yeah.
band names.
I'm actually
New band name called it.
Yeah, I'm just saying names that I wanted to use for bands.
You're like TM, Nuns of Abuse, TM.
Chicks of abuse.
It's on a YouTube video. It's legal. All right, so this one is Circle of Abuse.
Circle.
Oh,
Can you see circle in that at all?
No.
well, I did see cucks, and circle does
see cucks.
consist of.
I see
of-
cucks before I see circles. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I see lots of cooks. All right,
cucks of abuse.
here's the last one.
That's good. Too.
This last one,
But
I mean, that's
That's
just
my-
a picture of a
that's my guy.
chandelier in an old house.
in the haunted mansion, the
Yeah.
same chandelier.
and I saw this one in a couple of different like things.
If
that
you
they
squint
posted.
your eyes, you could see it better. Honestly.
Throughout.
Oh, you know what?
Through-
Hold on. Whoa, you can kind of see. It's like it's one of those. It's one of those
Squinting.
magic eyes.
Yeah.
Thorough.
I feel like I need to
thorough.
put it up to my
Wow.
face and like pull it away slowly.
I can't make out the top though, right?
I don't think there's anything in the top.
I'm really trying hard because that's actually
Or
work.
is there? I feel like it's just on the bottom, but
There are
how many words in this name?
4,
There's 4 words in the name?
but
Holy shit.
2 of them are just like there's a 1 letter and then there's a 2 letter and then there's 2 bigger words.
2 beer words.
Bigger words.
2.
Oh, okay.
Miller and Lime. Only 2 words I know.
I don't know. What did you say? Would you see in there, Rabbit?
I thought I saw like through or something.
Wait, provide.
Through or
Proud.
crowd?
Give me a
Crowd?
Okay, I'll give you.
Crowded?
Well,
No.
see, the last word is the only one that I can see. Like I can kind of make out.
clue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
this
you know it.
Okay, tell me if you can see it. Awake in Providence.
Oh,
Awake in Providence.
no.
Nah, I call bullshit.
I see Providence a little bit, like
Yeah.
the middle part of, but not anything else. The rest of
Right.
it's just this is just ripped off from
I mean,
Castlevania.
yeah.
so-
Shout out to the artists though. They're,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Whoever's making these things is killing it.
I figured
dude.
I
this.
can't read these things for shit.
Nah, this is just a jizz stain on my wall. I took a picture of it. It looked like some words.
I don't know.
I farted on a napkin.
If we want to do more of these, I'll find some more and I'll get a nice bumper and stuff because these are kind of fun to try to make out. So I did a couple of easy ones to ease you
Fun
into
to make out with you.
Oh.
You know what this reminds me of though? Remember that MTV commercial where the dude blows his nose? He goes, and then he's like, I made an MTV logo. Want to see? And then he goes, I didn't want to show it to you anyway. And then it just shows a boogery looking MTV logo. Man, I miss old MTV.
Oh, MTV. Classic.
But yeah, you got anything else going on, guys?
No, that's it for now. I
Yeah.
know.
There was like something that I saw like an hour ago in the news feed, and then I was like, I should write this down so we could bring it up. And I was like, yeah, I'll remember.
Well,
and then now I don't remember.
I do have one thing that I'd like to bring up, which I've already talked to you about off mic. So
up?
you're playing a show this weekend, right?
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, playing a show tomorrow.
Those tickets are going for $653 to see He Is Legend
Say what?
on
Yeah.
Ticketmaster right now.
Say what?
Now, how much
On Ticketmaster?
on Ticketmaster? This is resale tickets, obviously, but people have bought
Yeah.
up the tickets, and there's no left. There's none left of just the regular, not through Ticketmaster, anyways. I didn't check other websites, but I was just kind of seeing, what the prices were going for, and yeah, $653 for the He Is Legend.
Bro.
Wow, dude,
So
that's pretty dope.
yeah, y'all are gonna be playing with basically like Taylor Swift or something.
I wouldn't say Taylor Swift, maybe like Lizzo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just thought that was crazy
Maybe,
because we've talked about
yeah.
like the scalpers doing this kind of shit, and
I think Megan the Stallion has floor tickets for $600 at her show coming up because one of
Well,
my friends was looking at them.
so does He Is
so this
Legend.
was-
So what's the difference?
Well, if anybody wants to go to see He Is Legend, well, this is live. So tomorrow in Austin, hit me up and I'll give you one for $25. How about that?
You can really
Absolute
mark it up
steal.
right now, though.
All right, $26.
Have you seen what they're going for?
Gouging. He's gouging.
Yeah, and if I sell a couple, I'm gonna get a pack of gum while I'm at that
Fuck yeah.
show, son. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a fun one. Finally got to talk about X-Men without Fuzz. Don't tell him. Don't tell him what we talked about. Because he'll probably be like, "Hey, did y'all talk about those sick ass X-Men movies?" And I'm gonna be
We
pissed
did.
off again.
We did. Yes, we did.
We absolutely do.
Absolutely. But yeah, what do you guys want to do a show next week too?
Should be good. Yeah.
Guys, what's next week on Thursday? Let's see
What's the next Thursday? It's Thursday.
June 6th. June 6th.
Did you
guys,
watch our hardcore corner without you?
I started watching it, but I didn't finish it.
But did you like the intro? I was very proud of that.
I did
intro.
like the intro.
That's me and my roommate doing gang vocals for hardcore corner.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's up? That's pretty cool. Holler at your boy for gang vocals.
Oh, also, hey, we have a video coming out tomorrow. There's a bunch of stuff coming out with the band right now.
Shall
so-
we promote some
Well,
of
I'll
the
just-
other stuff?
Yeah, you know what? You guys go first.
Okay.
You first. Toby, tell them about
Line it
your
up.
podcast.
Well, I've got a little retro gaming podcast called the Secret Levels Podcast. It's a retro video game review show where we go over one game per episode. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts, and we let you know if it's still worth playing. We actually have covered a couple of X-Men games. Uncanny X-Men for NES is garbage, but come hear us complain about it. But X-Men Mutant Apocalypse for Super Nintendo, that was a good game. Very good game. Loved it. Very hard. Very hard. Also, this weekend, on Saturday, let's see, what's the date on that? Is it June 1st? June 1st. We are doing our now yearly Hall of Fame. We're doing the Secret Levels Hall of Fame, where we have our listeners vote on video games that should be Hall of Fame worthy, and we've just got our own little thing. It's gonna be a goofy stream on Twitch, Saturday, I believe at 7:30. So twitch.tv/TobyVonDoom. We've got a lot of goofy stuff lined up, so come join in if you like hearing two fat guys talk about retro video games, because that's what it is. That's the show. So yeah,
That's what the name should have been, dude.
two fat guys play games.
Yeah.
I like it. All right,
That sounds pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Two hunky boys
Two hunks.
playing video games. Not
Two
my hunky boys.
play with toys.
Boys play with toys. That's a whole nother show. Yeah, you guys know me. Playing in Terminated. We do have a show coming up if you're in the Fort Worth area, June 15th, I believe. So you can check us out there, and check us out on Spotify, or follow us on Instagram.
You got a YouTube channel too, so you can see some of the live videos.
Oh yeah, we did start a YouTube channel, so you could watch some of our live videos. Just pay no attention to live vocals. They don't sound so great, but whatever. It's a rough cut.
Yeah, you guys should do a music video,
That'd be tight.
I think y'all should do a music video. Fuzz told me he really wants to do a music video.
I know Fuzz has been aching to film a music video.
By the way, that X-Men Apocalypse game, I've had a lifelong grudge with that game, by the way.
Yeah,
Just letting
you've told me about that.
Yeah, whenever I was a kid, I could never get that far, right? Okay, so you have to beat 5 different stages with 5 different characters, and then you continue the story. What you doing, Toby? What are you doing, Toby?
I don't know what just happened. It's got glitchy. Anyways, yes.
But yeah, you can play as this 5 different characters, I think. And then once you beat all of their own personalized stages, then you can continue the story. And for the longest time, I could never beat all 5. Then one time, whenever I was in my 20s, I played it on somebody's Super Nintendo, and I beat all of the levels and started doing like the stages that follow. And then I took down the password. Back in the day, before you had saves on the cartridges, sometimes they would give you a password, and it would consist of different X-Men in a particular pattern on a square board.
Yep.
And I took down that when I had one of my first phones that you could just frugally transport your pictures. I took a picture of that, and I continued through my 20s playing that game. Then I got to a point where I didn't know what stage it was at the time, but I ended up taking down the password, continue the game, where I played as Wolverine, but it was on the last stage where you fought Magneto. So I've never been actually able to beat that game, because if you're Wolverine and you're fighting Magneto, you have a strong disadvantage. So I might have to just buy that game and start over. Because
Don't let it beat you.
Magneto would spank my hiney every time I started that game. So, but anyways, guys, I am Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you're nerding out with Rickshaw. If you like what you see here, you should obviously subscribe to the YouTube you're watching. Also, we have a Twitch, a Facebook, an Instagram, an X, and then a TikTok. And we post things on there periodically. We will start trying to do that. I don't have any shows coming up after tomorrow, and like for the whole month. So I will try my hardest to post more on the Nerding Out with Rickshaw page. But speaking of tomorrow, we are playing in Austin at Come and Take It Live with He Is Legend. They're playing the 20th anniversary of I Am Hollywood. And Johnny Booth is actually on the bill also. Dude, if you're in the Austin area, come out. We play at 7:30. We'll see you there. And if you want to see that clip, do you have that clip
I
of
do
one
got
of
the
our
clip.
songs there?
Yep.
Load it up. Play it.
The gold chain of confidence.
The chain of confidence. I actually was in the river one time and I found a little wooden box with a lock on it. And that's where I found that confidence chain. Who it belonged to last? I don't know. Sometimes I have visions. Speak. But also, tomorrow on the Never Rest YouTube at 11 a.m., the new video will be coming out for a song called Death Saves. Yay!
I dig it.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's all I got. Anyone else? You guys?
Later, nerds.
All right. We'll see you next week here on Thursday. We're gonna try and do every Thursday for a while now, unless we go to medieval times or some shit. But because that sounds fun, right?
Are we time traveling
Would you go
or
to-
the restaurant?
Would you go to?
I don't know.
Wow, dude. Have you watched The Black Knight one too many times with Martin Lawrence?
Martin Lawrence,
That's a
baby.
fucking classic. What are you talking about?
Would you go to medieval times if we came down to Dallas?
I would love to go to medieval times. I fucking love medieval times.
All right,
Be
dude.
sweet.
Let's try and plan. Lee told me August. Let's try and plan something in August. It might be during the week because it's easy for us to take off like Mondays or Tuesdays. So go to medieval times, sir. All right. Well, guys, we'll see you next week on Thursday. If you ever want to suggest some topics that, you think would be fun to hear us talk about, hit us up at nerdingoutwithrickshaw@gmail.com, and we'll see you later, nerds.